What's up, guys? Today is May 2nd, 2019. My name is Derek, and today I want to talk to you about how the government crafts its mainstream media stories using the language of Gematria and numerology. This code of letters and numbers coincided with dates on the calendar to produce what we see in the media and what is projected into the mind's eyes of the masses. One of the more unique stories today is how Tennessee Congressman Steve Cohen showed up eating Kentucky Fried Chicken, calling Attorney General William Barr a chicken for not showing up for today's hearing. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you why this man was chosen to eat chicken at the hearing. Certainly, this wasn't something that happened spur of the moment. This is something this man was told to do. The first thing I want to point out is that most of these rituals have to do with death, as dark and, horrible as that seems. And first of all, notice how the bucket here is oriented so that you can see Colonel Sanders' face. This is no mistake. Of course, you can say there is a slight resemblance between Steve Cohen and Colonel Sanders. But what's more interesting is that Colonel Sanders, in the language of Gematria, notice how using the reverse alphabetic order, where Z is 1, Y is 2, X is 3, through A is 26, Colonel Sanders sums to 222. Colonel Sanders passed away on December 16th, 1980. Measuring from that date to today's date, you get exactly 2002 weeks and 2 days. This study of numerology ignores zeros in the results, so here we have a direct alignment with the name Colonel Sanders. So the man chosen for this ritual was Stephen Ira Cohen. As you see his Wikipedia page here, his full name, Stephen Ira Cohen. Using the reduction method, which uses the rules of numerology to reduce each double-digit number to a single digit prior to adding it to the equation, Stephen Ira Cohen sums to 79. This is the same value as Harland David Sanders, the real full name of Colonel Sanders. So while it's debatable that these two men share a physical resemblance, you can't dispute the fact that their numbers are the same. But let's take this a step further, because it's not just one or two alignments. What I just revealed to you could be coincidence if you believe in those things. But what's more interesting is that if you measure from Colonel Sanders' death to today's date, you get 38 years and 137 days. Let's start with the 38. Again, we're measuring to Colonel Sanders' death. In the alphabetic order, D the fourth letter, E the fifth letter, A the first, and so on, death equals 38. As for the 137, this explains why it was a Democrat from Tennessee eating chicken in Washington, D.C. The word Democrat using the reverse order equals 137. Also notice the 79 that we talked about in both of their reduction gematria. The state of Tennessee sums to 137, also in the reverse alphabetic order. And this is all going down in Washington, D.C., which sums to 137. Washington, D.C., of course, the home of the federal government. Government equals 137. And again, this being 137 days after the anniversary of Colonel Sanders' death. You may also notice that government equals 52, and today's date is May 2nd. We'll talk about that more in a second. The number 137 is very significant in this language of numerology. 137 is a prime number, and if you're looking to study this language, prime number relationships are something that's very important to get used to. 137 is the 33rd prime number. When you write out 33, it sums to 156 in the alphabetic order. This being a ritual celebrating Colonel Sanders, which also sums to 156. Speaking of the number 137, however, using Jewish Gematria, a cipher based in the ancient Latin alphabet, this cipher, structured more closely to Hebrew Gematria, Greek isopsephy, the ancient languages that did not have separate numbering and lettering systems, Colonel Harlan David Sanders equals 1,370, just like the number 137. In the English Gematria cipher, the one you saw on the left side, which uses the current 26-letter alphabet, his name sums to 1,190. This, of course, representing the number 119. The name Harlan David Sanders also sums to 119 in reverse reduction. Steve Cohen was sworn into office on the date January 3rd. And today, May 2nd, is 119 days after January 3rd. The date January 3rd is written here in America as 1/3. This, of course, can be reduced to the number 13. When we write out the number 13, notice how it has reduction values of 45 using both the standard and reverse reduction methods. This matches the ordinal value of the name Cohen, 45. You may have noticed that in the alphabetic order, the number 13, when spelled out, equals 99. Today's date, May 2nd, equals 99. In the reverse order, May 2nd equals 144. Colonel Sanders was born on September 9th, the date written 9/9. Steve Cohen was born on May 24th. And May 24th is the 144th day of the year. There's a couple more things I want to look at in relation to today's date numerology. We've been looking at date durations for most of this video. What's also important to notice is how today has what we call a life lesson number of 19. Now, Senator Cohen, as you can see on his Wikipedia page, he's Tennessee's first Jewish congressman. Well, it's interesting that in Jewish Gematria, KFC equals 19, just like today's date. Sanders equals 109 in the reverse order. Sanders also equals 46, which syncs up with today's full numerology. For good measure, Colonel Sanders equals 78 in that reverse reduction method. This is the Jewish Gematria of chicken, 78. And when we look at Steve Cohen's May 24th birthday back in 1949, we find that he was born on a date with standard numerology of 78. Cohen's life lesson number, 5 plus 24, plus 1 plus 9 plus 4 plus 9, equals 52. Of course, today's date, May 2nd, 5/2. Most of the world writes this date 2/5. Using the alphabetic order, Kentucky Fried Chicken sums to 205. Now, the 25th prime number is 97. Notice how Kentucky Fried Chicken also equals 97 in the standard reduction method. In single reduction, Harland David Sanders, the founder of KFC, also has this value of 97. And when you look at Senator Steve Cohen's birthday, 5 plus 24 plus 19 plus 49, it sums to 97. Sometimes you just got to laugh at this stuff. To wrap this up, I just want to mention how Stephen Ira Cohen, this man's full name, we looked at the 79 earlier. Also using the alphabetic order, his name sums to 160. This is fitting considering he's a congressman from Tennessee, which equals 106. Also notice the 38. It's been 38 years since Colonel Sanders died. KFC has this gematria of 16 as well. Now, when you look up KFC, you always hear about their special recipe of 11 herbs and spices. And this is pretty funny because KFC in reduction equals 11. In that same method, Colonel Harland David Sanders equals 110. And again, the whole reason that this man is eating chicken is because he's calling William Barr a chicken for not showing up. William Barr was appointed as Attorney General on February 14th, earlier this year, which means he's been in office for exactly 11 weeks. 11 herbs and spices, KFC equals 11. All of this stuff that we're seeing play out through our televisions, just numeric ritual, and it's all pretty silly when you look at it. For those of you who are talking about how hungry they're getting looking at all this KFC information, I urge you, make sure you eat it in moderation, all right? Of course, my best advice is to learn how to make your own fried chicken. But, you know, you're free to spend your money wherever you want. It's a free country, right? So just wanted to decode this silliness for you. Thanks to everybody for dropping in. Please like, share, and subscribe. Again, as YouTube is not doing us any favors in sharing this work. All right, guys. Peace, love, and God bless. See ya!